left, member of the team FX Open. Very difficult for the Korean commentators to say his name. Also known as the Mannered Zerg. Streams a lot on Team Liquid. He is known as the one and only
Very difficult, FXO, Sheth.
You have to have the hand motion there, wind it up.
Uses his keyboard in his lap. We call that the Sheth board. No one else really uses their keyboard in their lap as far as I know.
And there's the Sheth name board.
The name board, the Sheth board, it's another Sheth board. At the bottom here, bottom left, member of the team's NX, he is!
Puzzle!
Try to cut me off there, Gisato, I wouldn't let you. Zenix Puzzle.
If he cuts you off one more time, you can go take his Pepsis.
Take his Pepsis. Yeah, Pepsi's very important. Look at that Pepsi logo there on the bottom. Look at that G-Skill logo.
Maximum taste, no sugar.
Pepsi Next is actually really good. It tastes different than you would expect. It doesn't taste like a diet soda at all. It's just different, and it's very good.
I would still rather just have good old regular Pepsi. But
well, that's just you. I drink Next. And actually, when I go to the 24-hour mart near where we live, they don't have Pepsis.
Which one?
There are so many, I know. But I don't actually know the name of it. I just go there all the time. Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a Nexus first. But yeah, they don't sell Pepsis in the 20-ounce bottle there. They sell only Pepsi Next. So that's why I started drinking it. It's really, really good.
That's probably why all the Koreans are so skinny. But we do have the spawning pool coming out again for Sheth.
Yeah. He went hatch first because you can get away with that on this map. It's actually good to assume that your opponent is going to Nexus first as well.
It's also that when you get the natural hidden or the natural expansion behind your base, that does actually have a rich Vespane geyser. So if you can get your extractor up on that base, you can get a lot of gas really, really quickly. So it's good to get that up as soon as you can.
Very true. Puzzle going to go and steal some minerals from that backdoor expansion right away. Has made his forge and a gateway to wall himself off completely. Sheth trying to get in with his drone, of course, not able to.
Not able to get in with his drone, but he does scout the front with the drone, and his Overlord scouts the back, so he knows exactly what's going on here. There is the forge going down, so there will be cannons coming up quite soon to defend the choke point of Puzzle.
Cybercore going down. Now I'm kind of curious to see what Puzzle's going to do here. We do see Process right now doing timing attacks. Like last game we saw a timing attack. That timing attack was very interesting. It wasn't all in at all, though. It just did a lot of damage. He backed up. But a lot of time we see Process do timing attacks that are almost an all-in, and you know, if they really commit to it, it does become an all-in, like a 6-gate timing attack or a +7, +2 missile attack, +2 ground weapons timing attack.
But Puzzle also doing a really great job of keeping the exact number of units back home that he needed. He had one photon cannon, was able to warp in just a few extra units to be able to hold off that Zergling counterattack from Sheth.
This is very true.
A few Zerglings going up here to poke to see exactly what's going on. They do get chased away by a photon cannon. One guy gets killed, but the other ones get away. Or other one. And Sheth actually putting down a third base here.
Yeah, he's taking a very fast third. He likes to do this on this map. Because if your opponent is a Protoss who's going for this Nexus first style, and he goes for the photon cannon, you know he's playing defensively, he's not getting greedy, then you can take that third base. The problem, though, is the Puzzle sees this. He may react accordingly, but what happens a lot of times if you get that very, very, very fast third base, you get as many drones as possible, and then you use that base as a production facility to start cranking out roaches. Once you have about 50 to 60 drones on those 3 bases, if you can hit that timing, you can have enough roaches to hold off almost anything.
And the scouting probe does get killed, but not before seeing exactly what's going on, as you were talking about. But the thing with Puzzle is, in order for him to do any sort of counterattack right now, he would actually need to destroy his own defenses. That wall is completely solid right now, so you have to take out one of those buildings before you can get the rest of your forces out.
Actually, though, on this map, he's using the destructible rocks as part of his wall.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I did not even notice that.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's a full wall off either way, but there's just a little bit of a gap there. A Stalker can fit through. Okay, so he's getting a Twilight Council now. May go into pretty quick DTs here.
Quick DTs is a possibility. He can also be getting the blink so that he doesn't actually need to destroy the wall quite yet. He can leave it up so that he is safe against the counterattack and just blink over his own wall.
It's very true. The reason I'm thinking it's DTs is because normally you don't see his Twilight Council that quickly. He just has the one gateway. So it'd be kind of odd for him to get very fast blink at this point, but just no Stalkers. Probably going to see him add 2 gateways here pretty soon.
But it's also good to go for a tech build like that on this map because you can get that rich Vespene geyser like I was talking about, so you can pump out a lot more gas on a lot fewer workers, and you can just get that tech a lot earlier. And we do see Blink come out here right now.
Yeah, it's a little unusual. He hasn't even made a single stalker yet. He only has the 1 gate.
But now he's got 3 more warping in, 4 more warping in right now.
Yeah, he's most likely going to be
5.
He's going to be doing the 7 gate timing attack.
8.
Yeah, so he's gone up to 7 gates. So,
8.
Oh, he's going for 8s. 8, the 8 gate. How many gates is it going to be when this Protoss all ends today? Let's find out.
It's really nice that he's spreading these gateways around so that when this Overlord does come in from Sheth, he's only going to be able to see a few of those gateways. I think it's a different type of timing that's going on.
I'm serious. I want to talk to Sesame Street about this. I want to get the count casting the GSL when a Protoss is playing. Because right now they've just been doing these different timing attacks. How many gates is it going to be? And there's like 1 gate, 2 gate, 3 gate. Get White Raw in here to do the voice.
Some special tactics.
Yeah, well, there go the rocks. They're going to fall here pretty quick. It's weird that he got Blink that soon because now he's got Blink at a timing where he doesn't have that many stalkers. He's going to start adding more.
But not only Blink, but he's actually getting +2 for his ground armor, and he is ground weapons, excuse me, and he is chrono boosting that out. So it looks like he might be going for some sort of really strong timing push with Blink and +2 stalkers going out.
Yeah, it's normally with 7 gates. Sometimes you see 8. But you get that very fast +2, and now he's going to make this pylon here. There are a lot of units. Sheth probably knows what's going on, though. He might think, oh, you're just going to take a 3rd. But I think Sheth, I mean, that's what Puzzle wants him to think, but I think Sheth is very prepared. Now, like I said, he did go up to about, he's got 53 drones right now. He could get a few more, but he's actually just stopping, making roaches right now. He's going to get a +1 melee attack. Burrow and roach speed going to be done by the time this hits. It's a really good timing by Sheth. I think he's going to be able to hold this, but here it comes.
The battle is started here. They are going to be surrounded by some, or the reinforcements are going to be surrounded by some Zerglings. It's really nice for Sheth. A few force fields going down to keep the army back from Sheth, but that's not really what matters for him right now. He just needs to delay until he can get those upgrades. A few Zerglings going back to the natural of Puzzle.
And there's Burrow. What are you going to do when your opponent has Burrow?
There are no observers on this field, and there aren't going to be any soon, so Puzzle is forced to back off a little bit. The sentry is going down, so there's not going to be any more force fields. The Roach is fighting against Stalkers, but burrowing right when they take enough damage. They can regenerate that health very, very quickly, and then go back into the next fight.
Exactly. Now, that robotics, normally when you do that 7 gate I was talking about earlier, you have a robo, you bring an observer with it, and you go with +2. This time he went with +2, went with 8 gates instead of 7, but didn't get that robo. And Sheth was completely prepared for a strategy like this, had that fast burrow. He's getting burrow movement right now, getting +1 missile attacks, adding more and more roaches into the mix. And as soon as he feels comfortable, hold that thought, he's going to run in here with some Zerlings. Well, maybe. Does barely get in there. He's going to force the Stalker at home. Every Stalker that's at home instead of on the battlefield slows down this attack.
And he is going to take out a few probes here too, if Puzzle does not notice exactly what's going on there. A little mistake by Puzzle. He did try to pull all of his probes and stick them in that assimilator, but he does fix that mistake and just get the exact number on it. What's really interesting about this attack from Puzzle is if Sheth delayed his burrow at all, then the timing of Puzzle would have been beautiful. He had Blink, he had +2, and he would have been able to warp in a lot of Stalkers, do a lot of damage there, but Sheth perfectly had the perfect defense to defend against it, and we're moving into a longer game here with Sheth on 153 supply and 3 bases.
Yeah,
Puzzle's 106 supply.
Puzzle did a timing attack that puts him extremely far behind. He wasn't able to do a lot of damage. He's going to go in with it now. If this doesn't work, he will be really behind. Remember, he does have an observer now and +2, whereas Sheth does not have any upgrades. Here he goes, moving forward with those roaches. He's trying to move them forward so all of them are firing a nice little counterattack with speedlings at the back. Even drones coming out here. Sheth does have burrowed movement as well, but that's not really going to come into play here. He's got so many roaches, he may end up overwhelming Puzzle.
And Sheth, knowing that if he can win this fight, it's going to put him really far ahead. He did pull enough drones just to be able to give him that little edge, but pull them back to get them back to mining. He's going to back up a little bit to meet up with his reinforcement before coming in once again.
And I think this is looking really good for Sheth. Puzzle having a lot of Stalkers, though. He may just barely break through. It's very close. Sheth's +1 is about to finish. It's going to make it a little bit easier for him. His Overlords, though, are exposed here.
And Sheth started that battle with a lot more supply, but the thing is that Puzzle is being really, really efficient with his units. He's doing a great job of microing. This battle is staying extremely close and continuing to go on.
Yeah, and the problem now is Sheth is supply blocked, whereas Puzzle is not, so you can warp into reinforcements. Sheth cannot. Roach is moving forward here. They do have +1 now, even though Puzzle has +2. He's just got so many roaches. Backing up again, he does have those Zerglings. The Zerglings have +1 as well. And the Stalker health is starting to get whittled down here.
Sheth is just trying to do a little dance back and forth, keep his roaches alive as long as possible, have them burrow, get that regeneration going. But that observer is there now that the spore colony is gone, so there is no vision coming from Sheth.
And Sheth's going to move forward again. A lot of these Stalkers on low health, like I said, but a lot of them still at full. Blinking back all of the weakened Stalkers. Great micro by Puzzle, but Sheth just with a ton of reinforcements, even trying to bring these Queens in. Oh, it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. I think Puzzle may break through here.
Oh, it's very, very close right now. If Sheth can barely defend against this, he will be okay for the later part of the game, but he's just trying to stream in some roaches, get as many as he can get. He was supply blocked temporarily, so that did prevent a wave of reinforcements from coming in, but these armies are dwindling down from both sides. Really, really close here.
Extremely close, in fact, Torch, but these roaches getting very low on health. The Stalkers blink forward. If he loses this round of roaches, he will lose the game. More Speedlings coming out. Zealots joining in the mix. Roaches dying as they pop out.
And the burrowed Queen does go down because of that observer. He does pull up the rest of those roaches, get a little bit of extra regeneration before trying to fight. He needs to fight on this creep so those roaches can get up to those blink stalkers and actually be able to kill them.
Yeah, it looks like these roaches are going to fall back. They're trying to fall back. He may lose this hatchery. Sheth has blocked the third base back at home for Puzzle with an Overlord spreading creep. Hold that thought though, here come more Stalkers warping in. Sheth has to be a little bit more decisive with how he engages these. Oh, he's running back and forth, taking a lot of extra hits on those Stalkers.
Sheth might lose this hatchery, but that is not going to be too critical for the game. He still has 2 bases compared to Puzzle's 2, so that's not going to be too bad there. However, the production capability of Puzzle on these 8 gateways is completely astounding.
Yeah, he's actually taken the supply lead here, and Sheth has lost that third base. To be frank with you guys, I don't imagine that Sheth will be able to hold this next attack. He just doesn't have the production he needs. He's actually not holding his ramp either. The Stalkers are in. They already have that concave. Sheth supply block, losing his last Overlords here. He is in a lot of trouble.
He is going to chase the Stalkers away a little bit. It's a lot harder for Puzzle to reinforce this army since the pylon is a lot further away. That is going to give Sheth a little bit of extra time, a little bit of breathing room to get out a few more units. But as you were saying, he is supply blocked right now. His supply did drop down to 87 compared to Puzzle's 104. So Puzzle's staying about 100% supply this entire time. When he's losing Stalkers, he's reinforcing them immediately, while Sheth is dwindled from 150 down to 86.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Sheth. He has made another hatchery inside of his base, so he can try to get that extra production he needs to hold this. He's making spine crawlers as well. Sheth doing everything he can to keep himself alive here. If he loses this, he's of course out, so he doesn't want to lose. This is his second game. He's already behind 1 game. So he's trying to sit here, he's trying to think, what can I do? He's not just going to GG, he wants to go in for the long haul here. He's got Banelings morphing, just a few of those.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Zerglings and Banelings coming in here. He's throwing down the Spine Crawlers just to be able to give him a little bit of time that he needs to get that last army up and go for one fight. If he can get a good surround on these Stalkers, he can use those Banelings to do a lot of damage to them, and then the Roaches can clean them up. But it's really going to be difficult to do with no creep here for the Banelings.
Yeah, here they come, running forward. The Banelings being a little indecisive. The Spore Crawlers have finished. Just nice transfuses going down. Even Queen's joining in the fight. Puzzle just having so many units, though I don't think it's going to be enough for Sheth with a +2 weapons versus just +1.
Yeah, that is 30 Stalkers on the field right now for Puzzle, all with Blink, all with +2 attack. This is really, really scary from the Protoss. Sheth is going to try to do as much as he can, but there's only 2 Spine Crawlers up, 1 now. Ugh.
I think Sheth is going to die here, unfortunately, for him, because these Stalkers are just, there's so many of them, he can't get a good position on them. They always have the better arc, they have Blink, they have better upgrades, there's an Observer with the mix.
And Puzzle with all these units, really, really beautiful Blink.
We'll get a shot of it in a second. All these Overlords being taken out for Sheth as well, just constantly supply blocked.
He was actually spiking at 550 APM there, and that's StarCraft 2 APM, not real APM. That's an insane speed. I'd love to see a shot of his keyboard during that fight.
Yeah, but I think we're going to see a shot of him here pretty soon, because Baneling Nest is dying, his lair is dying, the Roach is streaming forward, this is his last attempt, the drone's coming out, he's got Overlord drops, Baneling's inside those drop ships, he's going to try to drop on top of the Stalkers to clean up this army, but it's just not going to be enough. The micro from Puzzle is too good. I think we may see a GG from our Mannered Zerg any second now. Good transfuses, but will it be enough? No, it will not. 78 supply to 12 supply. GG, well played with the smiley. Sheth will not advance to the round of 8.
He will not, but it was well played by both players. There is Zenix Puzzle right there, moving on to the up and down matches. If he doesn't even move on to win today, he did a fantastic job here in PvZ.
Yeah, he did a great job microing. His micro was superb. His timing was good. It was just a little off. Sheth basically did a perfect counter of what he was doing, but his micro was just so good, it didn't matter. And with builds like this, sometimes with players like this, it's like MC. Even if you know he's going to 6-gate you with a bunch of sentries or 4-gate you with a bunch of sentries, if his micro is good enough, you just can't stop him.
Yeah, that's very true. And Sheth did do a great job of getting out the exact timing of roaches and the roach upgrades to be able to defend against that first 8-gate push. But the thing is that 8 gateways reinforces so fast.
Yeah.
And just the overwhelming force, once you get Blink on those +2 Stalkers, they're really, really efficient units against those roaches.
Yeah, the +2 comes into play. Not only that, let me talk about one other thing. When the roaches pop out of the hatchery, they're at the front lines. They're at the front lines. They die. They're not firing. They're not attacking. They're like, I was just born, and the first thing I see is Stalkers, like their particle disruptors are shooting at me, and I'm like, whoa! I mean, every time that Sheth is trying to reinforce that battle at that hatchery, his roaches are dying on arrival, whereas the reinforcements for Puzzle are being warped in the back lines. They're safe. So that's part of the thing. I mean, Sheth had a lot more production, but a lot of his roaches were just dying on arrival. He lost a lot of overlords. He didn't have the upgrades, and he got +1 melee attack. His Zerglings, he tried to use the Zerglings at the back to kind of hit the Stalkers from behind. That was a great move. Sheth played beautifully. Puzzle played beautifully. That was a great game between those two guys, but Puzzle just won out, making only Stalkers. Beautiful Blink micro. He didn't lose any Stalkers that he needed, or that he would have, a lesser player would have. Yep. It was one of the best Blink micro I've ever seen.
Yeah, both of those games were really nice timing from Puzzle. He had an attack plan. The first game it worked. The second game he knew he had to back off. He didn't lose any units in the first engagement. He was very, very safe with that. But the other thing is that we didn't get a shot of this on the screen, but Puzzle always left the exact number of units back at home that he needed to defend against any sort of Zergling counterattack. He had the sentries there to be able to drop in the force fields, defend against that, and enough units there to kill the Zerglings and force them away.
Yeah.
Just really, really nice play. And we'll see how he does in a PvP next week, next Monday, actually. So this week we did have a morning session of Code A for every single day, but next week there will be no morning sessions. And by morning, I mean early afternoon, gamer speak here. But we will no longer have any 1 p.m. Korean Standard Time sessions next week. It will only be Monday evening for Code A for the rest of the season.
Yep, and then Code S will be in the evening on the days before the Team League. So 2 days of Code A. Was it 2 days and then 1 day of S and then Team League?
1 day of Code A on Mondays from the rest of the season, and then it's Tuesday and Wednesday are Code S.
Oh,
and then
right,
Thursday
right,
and Friday are GSTL.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Thanks, Torch.
Yeah. A whole lot of StarCraft 2 action coming here from Korea. A lot of different flavors going on. The Team League plus GSL, the individual leagues and the team leagues really just try to. There's a lot of different things you can get from each. You get a lot of really nice play, a lot of nice preparation from the individual leagues, but you also get that team fandom and a lot of
there's so much awesome stuff going on.
A lot of good
just
manner going on.
Just say it, man. Just say it's really awesome.
Yeah.
That's what people are gonna understand. You're like getting into the intricacies of this. People don't care. They're like, that's so awesome. That's all I want to hear. All right, we're gonna have a 5-minute break, guys, and we'll be right back after these 5.